Alright, what's up YouTube? We're going to do the 1 month update. I had something happen this past week that really sucked. So evidently when I filled my sand bed up, it was in there for probably 2 or 3 weeks, if you saw from my rinsing the sand video. And it just sat there stagnant. But the weight of the water wasn't displacing it. So it essentially made like a deep sand bed. And the reason I found out is because right now there is no bubble tip anemone. There's a reason I pulled them out. One is they can either be awesome to look at, or they can just be complete hell on you. And in this case, he was complete hell. He would move from this rock, then this rock, then he went over and moved up into my overflow. And finally, he went into this corner over here, and I was like, all right. And I went on a forum local here in Atlanta, and I basically just said, hey, get this bubble tip anemone, because this little guy right there started chomping on him. I knew that peppermint shrimps would chomp on anemones. They're pretty much the hyenas of the sea. So what I did was I pointed this power head in that corner over there to kind of piss them off a bit, and then at that same token, that sand that was compacted started blowing sand up here, blowing sand all the way to here. And I had like sand dunes, and everything was all cloudy for about, well, at least for that night. And the next morning, my bird's nest that was on this rock, he had RTN, or rapid tissue necrosis. I mean, he just freaking died. I was like, oh man, something's wrong. Because the only thing I did was stir up the sand bed. And sure enough, I got another frag of that same bird's nest after doing a probably like a 30% water change. I mean, I got the water level maybe down to here, and got another frag, dropped him in, and he died the next night. And I was like, what the hell? And I had already done all the parameters. I had no phosphate, I had no nitrate, I had nothing. And that bird's nest just said, screw you. The alveopora was angry and sunk up into his little shell. The torch shrunk up. They were just, it was not a very happy day. So, in the end, I was like, well, screw this. I'm just going to deep clean the sand bed and get whatever compacted crap out of here. Everybody's already pissed off, so might as well just do a clean, big, deep clean, and then change 90% of the water. Well, I actually changed about 80% of the volume. So I deep cleaned the whole thing and promptly did my water change. I mean, I drained it all the way to the top of this arch was covered. So you would think that that's like 50% with the display, but because I have 80 gallons or so in the sump, it's I mean, it was quite a bit more. So anyways, after doing that, waited a few days, dropped this bird's nest frag in there, and said, okay, if you die, I know I still have an issue. And there he is, still on the frag. And he's just flopping around while the wind blows him around. I'm not even gonna glue, I didn't even want to glue him yet. I was like, alright dude, if you make it, we know what's gonna happen. So I monitored the situation for a few days. And I was like, all right, fine, he's cool. Coralline growth is starting to return again, so stupid me, I got an acro. I don't know how he's gonna do, but hey, he's pretty cool. I got a cleanup crew as well. I hope they don't starve. I only got one turbo snail because I just don't have the diatoms to really say much about it. I mean, yeah, there's a light dusting, like a light dusting, but it's not like, you know, the brown crap. I mean, from here it looks like, okay, well, I see like off-color whites and then some dusting, but really it's, if you were here at my house and you saw the hue, it's like barely there. So, yeah. So I got 10 Astrea snails, 10 Nasteria snails, because I wanted them to kick this crap up. I got a watchman goby and his buddy pistol shrimp. He's in there. Yeah. Alveopora doesn't look too pissed off. I mean, he's still upset. He's always upset. I'm just gonna name him PMS or something. I don't know what the hell his problem is. I put him in a cave with no lights because evidently my light burns him. And I think this torch will probably be the same route. I may move him closer to the rocks so that he gets some shade. I got a feather duster. Not my favorite. But I'm gonna get some colorful ones. Maybe the next update I'll show you what I got. I got this encrusting coralline algae. I hope it doesn't irritate the hell out of me, because if you get that encrusting stuff and get on your glass and everything else, it just pisses you off and you're like, son of a bitch, what the frick was I thinking? So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't get like an explosion of it. I mean, I've got, you know, the green coralline. I mean, the snails bulldoze the hell out of it, but it's not like that encrusting stuff. Let's see, what else? Really, you know what? The only thing I gotta say, oh yeah. The system. All right, so still got my scrubber. I have 0 nitrates, like it's unreadable. Whenever I use a nitrate tester, it just, no algae will grow, none. So maybe some diatoms grow here and there, but I don't know what the hell that is about. I even got a GFO. I did the GFO edition. Let's go over here. Yeah. And you kind of just want to let it tumble. Just tumble a little bit. Doopy-doo. We gotta clean this crap up. You know that whole thing when I first started dialing all this stuff in, that was a work in progress? Well, I'll tell you what, if I had to do this all over again, I should have 45-degreed this and then ran it along the back of the sump and then use these T's as little outlets coming toward me. But, so I may just do a little 45 back and then use this existing manifold thing. Although, one thing I messed up on is the sleeve. And it's just how I was modularly thinking when I was at Home Depot. I was like, well, I'm gonna need a sleeve to hook up here. And actually, the more I think about it, I would have still needed a sleeve because this one was already connected. I could not, well, no, I would not have. Because if I had just cut it, I could have just used this T and slipped it on. Yeah, it would have worked out better that way. Bungee cord, kind of hold this up. Still the cap. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to tighten this up a little bit. I can add maybe 2 more canisters, more reactors, before I'm all the way at the end of my sump. And as you remember on my original video, I actually had this cocked because I was going to put a protein skimmer in here, and then I said, nah, this time I want to try algae scrubber because protein skimmers suck up a lot of nutrients like phyto and stuff, and I want to keep them in. So this became the fuge, kind of. I even have a deep sand bed now in here. I'm not even going to touch that. That's a bomb. That is a bomb. Every time you see a deep sand bed, just think bomb. And I got to go over and I got to populate it with a bunch of crap. I even may make it a cryptic fuge. where you block it off of all light. Just throw in some freaking sponges or cucumbers or whatever else I want in there, and just be like, all right, figure it out. This is like my know-nothing thing. This was going to be my fuse. I was going to put the rock in here, macroalgae, and just let it go through. And of course I got the sponge, which if you don't have a skimmer, or if you skim lightly, you'll notice that you'll have like a protein film, like an oil slick. And that kind of gets rid of that. I just rinse that out every couple of days. Every little bit helps to prevent nutrients, I guess. It still doesn't matter. I still got some of the skim meat. Got some bubbling. So you can tell that there is some organic matter in this tank. So that's pretty much it. This thing's been running like a champ. I like this thing. I don't like how loud it is, but it's pretty cool. The lights, too strong. Damn these lights. I'm gonna have to turn these things down. So I was gonna do a review on these lights, and I will do a full review at a later date, but I wanted to make sure that after a few months of knowing the nuances of this thing, that I could do an intelligent review. The WP-40s, they're pretty awesome still. However, one thing to note is after a month or 2 or 3 weeks, they start losing power. And it's because they got this magnet impeller in there that gets covered with gunk or diatoms or bacteria. And you gotta clean them out, and they're just not quite as strong as they were. I mean, I'm sure I could soak it in vinegar. All I did was just like rinse out the impeller and the inside of the housing with some tap water, and it definitely increased the strength, but they will lose a lot of strength if you don't stay on top of it. Let's see. Regal tank's fine, or Hippo tank. Molinara's fast, you're good, you're good. Everybody's pretty much good here. The clownfish, I wanted them to go with the BTA. I don't like separating hosts from their, fish from their hosts. So they went with them. It probably didn't serve me anything anyway. I can always get clownfish, but for now, that's really all I got. The only new real live stock is the pistol shrimp and the watchman goby, and they're just chilling out under there. And that's really it. I mean, I'll keep you posted as we keep going, but like I said, it's the 1 month anniversary, and here I'm at.